Happy belated Thanksgiving. This is a Kansas City Chiefs instant reaction on a Black Friday from the 580 Sports Talk crew. Dan Lucero, Dzwierzynski, Spencer DuPuis joining you after another routine Kansas City Chiefs victory. The best team in the AFC by record goes to 11-1 with a 19-17 home victory over the Las Vegas Raiders. I'm going to start with a quick anecdote. As people could probably tell if they're frequent viewers of these videos, I am not at my own residence right now. I'm actually spending the holiday with family in Colorado. So I'm at my parents' house, and I'm watching the game with my dad. And my dad is very confident after the Chiefs punt it back to the Raiders with about 6 minutes left that the Raiders are going to win the game. And I tell him with equal confidence, I watch every Chiefs game. They're all like this. They're going to win. I watch every Chiefs game. They're all like this. Even after the blown third down before the 2-minute warning, coaching and quarterbacking malpractice on display in a situation where the Chiefs have largely avoided that in recent years, I still kept saying, I keep seeing this game every single week. The Chiefs are going to find a way. And the way that they found today was a snap hitting Aiden O'Connell in the knee, recovered by Nick Bolton to secure a victory. I have two reactions to this, gentlemen, and I will let you get your reactions off. Number one, I don't even really like watching the Chiefs play right now, to be completely honest with you. It is not a pleasant football watching experience. If all you're in it is for the winning, then it's great because they keep winning. But it is not a pleasant football watching experience right now. And number two, yeah, I do not know what to make of this team, but I certainly am backing off of my long-held stance that this team ought to be considered the favorite to win a Super Bowl this year. I have been pretty rigid in that. I do believe there is value in winning these games. Winning matters, and finding ways to win matters. But this is a very flawed football team, and very, very lucky to be 11-1 today. Brendan, your first thought.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat with you, Dan. I mean, look, I'll put my hand up. I was adamant on Wednesday's show and on Tuesday's show as well for 580 Sports Talk earlier this week that I was going to make my prediction. I was putting my stake in this game being the bounce back blowout here of the Chiefs game because they were so pissed off after last week's win against Carolina. Nobody was happy about it. Everybody seemed glum. I thought they were finally going to come out energized and they were going to put together a dominant win over a Raiders team that stinks. They are, now that Matt Eberflus was fired early on Friday, the Raiders are without question the worst coached team in the NFL. Antonio Pierce should be fired tonight. He handled the end of the game as badly as you could. He had to be bailed out by Aiden O'Connell. Consider that for a moment. Aiden O'Connell had to bail out a head coach in an NFL game in 2024. So consider that when you're thinking about Antonio Pierce's future. But here's the thing, and as wrong as I was about how this game would transpire for the Chiefs, I hate to sound super meathead on you. The Chiefs did not win this game. They got the win. They literally, in the record column, get the win for this game. The Chiefs did not win because the Raiders got into field goal range with ease. Aiden O'Connell tore them to shreds in an under a minute drive, or however much, a minute 56, whatever it was, to shreds down the field at the very end of the game, and had them in position until Jackson Powers Johnson decided that it was time to go on a roid rage and completely throw the game for them. Just a complete disaster for the Raiders in the most typically Raiders way possible. This was a horrible game for Kansas City. Mahomes ended up with decent numbers. I thought his play calling was garbage, to be honest with you. 3 designed runs entering their final drive of the game in the second half. From halftime to their final drive of the game, 3 designed runs in the second half. Malpractice. This is one of the most efficient running teams in the entire NFL. That is legitimate malpractice by Andy Reid. I think the secondary is in a really bad place. McDuffie wasn't as bad as he has been, but he did not play especially well again. The CB2 spot is a nightmare. And you're playing 10 on 11 offensively. You are playing with fewer players, like actual NFL players right now on offense than you are against opposing defenses. Wanya Morris has got to be the worst starter in the league right now on the offensive line.
He got benched going down the stretch of the game.
Hold on. He got benched again this week. You moved a 32-year-old left guard out to tackle. We better hope that DJ Humphries is Jonathan Ogden reincarnate, because if not, Mahomes is going to get killed out there for this team. It was a bad game. The Chiefs do not deserve to win. You don't apologize for winning in the NFL. You say, hey, who cares? We're 11-1. Let's move on. But God, this was ugly almost from the very start until the very end. Spencer, go ahead. We wanted to get your thoughts on here too.
Yeah, I think you mentioned play calling. What was that 3rd and 2 play call? Why are you throwing a deep shot on the 3rd and 2?
Okay, well, hold on, pause. Like that's symptomatic of the problem, because the thing is, that was the perfect play call. It was perfect. Everybody freaks out about it. That was the perfect play call. Xavier Worthy can't get open because he's 111 pounds, soaking wet, covered in mud. He got open on the deep over. Mahomes threw a crappy ball. Like, it's the perfect play, but it's so symptomatic of where this team is. You got the look, you got the matchup, but you're going to a guy who your quarterback has zero chemistry with. There is no juice between Patrick Mahomes and Xavier Worthy. Anyone, make that Justin Watson's route. You win the game. It was the perfect decision, but your quarterback and receiver have no chemistry. It, to me, and I'm sorry for cutting you off, Spencer, I know you had more points to get to, but it's just so emblematic of where this team is right now, is that nothing is clicking. Not in the secondary. The pass rush finally came alive a little bit. The play calling was a mess. The whole thing was just such a botched operation from start to end. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I want to give you time, but it's so frustrating. There's too much talent on this team for them to be this disconnected right now.
Yeah, they really are. But I think you mentioned corner. I want to go back to that CB2 spot. They really should have brought in somebody in this offseason. And, I thought it was a feel-good story. Went to the same college as Najee Johnson. Like, that would have been cool. Dude is a group of 5 middle corner, CB2 at best. He is not an NFL caliber starting corner, CB2. He can't be out there for almost every play. That's the problem, is they went with the trade. They obviously traded away L'Jarius Sneed. They got that pick. They did whatever they did, helped them with the money situation because they weren't going to be able to sign him. But they didn't go out and try to get a guy on a cheap 1-year deal that could have been a legit CB2. That's a problem. Also, the end of the first half, I would like an NFL explanation for that. I would also like an explanation for, I think it was in the first quarter, where they punted. There was a punt, and then Amazon went to break, and then the NFL decided, the official said, let's run a play while they're in break. That's like Bush League stuff. Like, how is there not communication to stop the play?
I want to respond to one of your points, Spencer. I actually think that the secondary got better when Joshua Williams went in the game today. I thought that was a much-needed step in the right direction for that off corner opposite McDuffie's spot. Once he replaced Najee Johnson, we actually saw him make a couple of plays, had a pass breakup, nearly intercepted a pass. After that point, the wide receivers were not as much of a factor in the passing game. It was basically all Brock Bowers, and then the one mismatch they got with option. It was great. That was a rock, paper, scissors scheme win, that touchdown down the sideline where you got a speed receiver on Justin Reed one-on-one. Great play call, and Reed fell down. And sometimes it'd be like that. But I do think that Joshua Williams represented a positive, and the Chiefs, it's nice to have confirmation that they're seeing what we see, that Najee Johnson can't play right now, and that Wanya Morris, absolutely, when it mattered, he had to be out of the game. Like, he cannot play another snap at left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2024, maybe ever again. It can't happen. It can't happen. And they better hope DJ Humphries is ready. And if he's not, then kick Joe Thuney to left tackle for a game, because it's not just, he's not very good. No, he's the worst left tackle in football, and it is a health hazard to the quarterback, as you pointed out, Brendan. And it is the reason this offense isn't working right now. Now, they had some other problems today, too. Guys are having trouble getting open. Mahomes was not sharp. His final numbers look good. He missed some throws he never misses. He missed some connections that he never misses. And I wonder how much of that is having to look over his shoulder, because every time you play with Wanya Morris at left tackle, whoever is lined up opposite him is prime Lawrence Taylor. Like, That's hard when you know that's coming from your blind side every single snap, that you have no hope.
Kirk Herbstreit even mentioned that during the broadcast. It was right after Joe Thuney had slid over to left tackle. And first snap of the game, first pass pro for Thuney in the game at a different position, that it's not his normal spot. It's his emergency spot. He gets pushed back. Okay, it happens. I'm not mad at Joe Thuney for that. But Mahomes has this body backing into him again through a little duck worm burner right in the flat. I think it might have been Kelsey, whoever it was in the flat pass had absolutely no chance. But Herbstreit pointed that out. Like, look, this has a psychological impact on your quarterback. It's the seeing ghosts thing, right? Is that if you are used to your left tackle getting his you-know-what pushed in constantly, the pocket is always caving in from that side, you're going to be trigger happy going in that direction and even looking in that direction. So, you have to completely figure out what you're going to do at that spot before Mahomes is going to go back and being comfortable. I've got the EPA numbers up in front of me. Not an awful game, but not a Mahomesian game by any means. Right. Funny enough, this was, I think, the longest average depth of target for Mahomes in a game this season, over 8.5 yards a throw. But that's because you essentially just have to chuck it constantly because you have no protection on your blind side.
And the downfield passing game is starting to come back for the Chiefs. We've seen some deep hits to DeAndre Hopkins. Noah Gray is starting to find creases in the middle of the field. We're starting to see those chunk plays come back in the passing game in a way that we've been calling for a while. That's a positive. Unfortunately, guys don't get open on those plays often enough, and it's leading to coverage sacks. It's not just Wanya getting beaten like a rented mule on third down, which is happening just about every time it's third and long and a pass rusher can pin his ears back. But there's a lot more coverage sacks than you're comfortable with right now. And I don't know if that's the route combos and the scheme, or if that's just guys can't get separation on a down-to-down basis, which is its own problem. So the Chiefs maybe have to go back to the drawing board a little bit on that stuff. But the passing game should function much, much better than it is. And you have to hope that it will once Wanya Morris is out of the picture, because, that's utterly unacceptable. Just a weird game in a lot of ways. The Raiders, one of the worst rushing attacks in the league, and Sincere McCormick looked like prime Marcus Allen gashing the Chiefs defense. Second year in a row that a no-name rookie running back for the Raiders has come to Arrowhead and looked like Bo Jackson running through the Chiefs. The Chiefs running game never really got on track. They had the one good play from Pacheco, nothing else, and they gave up on it entirely in the second half, which was stunning to see. They have been I think Andy Reid largely has done a really good job with the play calling, with game management, with third down and short, with sticking to what's working, not getting cute, all the things that we've criticized him for in the past. I thought that going away from the run today was the first time I really have a reason to criticize the game planning, the play calling, because you get Pacheco back with Kareem Hunt, and you're going up against a team that's destroying you on the pass rush, and you're not going to run the ball to keep them honest. Now, credit the Raiders. They were good against the run, but it shouldn't have been that. It should not have come down to what it comes down to. Let's get into our final thoughts. We'll cut this one a little shorter. It is a holiday weekend after all. My final thought on this, the stuff we've been saying all year about the Chiefs still holds, right? Winners win. Win your duds. Find a way. All of those things. It's hard to win in the NFL. Ask the Raiders. They had a win in their lap and they gagged it away. Losers lose just like winners win, right? And the Raiders are losers. They've been losers for 20 years, and we saw why today. And the Chiefs are winners, and sometimes this is just the stuff that happens to you when you're a winning team. It used to happen to the Patriots for 20 years when Tom Brady was their quarterback. Sometimes this kind of stuff just happens to you. You take it, and you hope things get better. They better hope, like you said, that DJ Humphries is the deus ex machina for this football team. Otherwise, it's going to be a really grim slog, and you might have to complete some of it without number 15, because I don't see how he stays in games, keeps getting himself back up after taking hit after hit after hit. It's a big problem. It's fixable, hopefully. You'd like to think it can be. We've seen the Chiefs get better as the calendar flips to December and January, but they've got a long way to go. Final thoughts, Spencer.
Yeah, you can tell Patrick Mahomes is getting very, very irritated and frustrated. And I mean, hell, he almost got a penalty probably for spiking the ball at down the stretch of the ball. He threw it at
Wanya Morris. He threw it at Morris after Morris committed a false start.
Yeah. I mean, like, it is coming to blows, and I think there's probably going to be a team meeting on Monday. And, you got to hope Humphries is the next coming of the best left tackle in the game, and he comes in and somehow is ready Friday or next Sunday, and they can get it done. But hey, the Chiefs have clinched a playoff spot, so now they can just focus on getting better to get in the playoffs and win another Super Bowl, I guess.
Brendan, final
That's true. No, that's a good point, Spencer. I mean, hey, goal number one is accomplished. Technically,
it's out of the way.
They did get that first one out of the way. No, I mean, you just have to figure out something with that left tackle spot. Jay Hawker says it in the comment section on the YouTube feed of this broadcast right now. You got to move Tooney to left tackle. Like, there's no other choice. And if DJ Humphries is good to go, okay, you put Humphries there, but you have to do something else. I don't care if you have to play Mike Caliendo at left tackle. I don't care if you're switching Juwan Taylor over there and Hunter Norzad plays at the right side. I don't care. You have to do something different because you're going to get Mahomes killed. He's going to get injured if you keep letting him get hit like this. This was, statistically speaking, one of the least efficient games of the entire season for the Chiefs. I didn't understand the play calling and going away from the run. They had 16 plays, guys, on third or fourth down in this game. They ran it once on those 16 plays for one of the most efficient running games in the entire league this year with your best running back. It was a ridiculous game plan, in my personal opinion. I know Andy Reid knows a lot about a lot, but I really disagreed with how he approached this game. I hope the left tackle thing gets figured out, because if it does, I feel a lot better about this team being one of the favorites to win a Super Bowl. But with that kind of protection, absolutely not.
Chiefs win. You wouldn't have maybe been able to tell it if you jumped into this one halfway, but the Chiefs did win the game 19-17. Another odd and bizarre and unlikely way to win a game in a season that's been full of those for a team that shouldn't be making it this hard on themselves and certainly on their fans. But 11-1 and the first team in the NFL in 2024 to clinch a spot in the postseason. We'll have much more to say about it on Monday's edition of 580 Sports Talk from 3 to 6. We hope you will join us there on 580 WIBW, FM 104.9, and on these very same video channels. For Spencer DuPuis, Brendan Dzwierzynski, I'm Dan Lucero. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. Thanks for tapping in to this Chiefs Instant Reaction.